All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is David Weiss, and I'm the CEO here at AdventHealth Deland. And I'm so excited that you're taking some time with us here this afternoon for us to be able to introduce a little bit about what AdventHealth Deland is all about and what it would look like for you to choose a career here with us here. I am going to start this session off actually sharing a background video. And we're going to go ahead and roll that right now, and then we will get into the rest of our discussion.
Let's do this.
We all fall down, we get banged up, but the scars show what we're made of. Don't you look back, lift your head up, shake the dust off, tell me what you're made of. I can't hear you, I can't hear you. Breath in our lungs, beating our heart. Lift every voice, you got something to say. It's a brand new day.
All right. Well, once again, I'm David Weiss, and I have the privilege of serving here as the CEO at AdventHealth Deland. And from my background, actually starting my career as a physical therapist, I am passionate about clinical care and the quality of clinical care that we can provide to our communities. I have been with AdventHealth now for 2.5 years, and it's been a phenomenal journey with this company, and I'm delighted to be here. I'm going to now ask Michelle LeBron to go ahead and introduce herself, and then we will go through the rest of our panel making our introductions.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Michelle LeBron, and I am the Chief Nursing Officer here at AdventHealth Deland. I could not be more excited to welcome all of you here and get the chance to tell you a little bit about what Deland is and what it stands for, and to share with you my wonderful colleagues as well. But I have been with AdventHealth since before it was AdventHealth, since it was Florida Hospital, since 2001, and super excited to then transfer to the Deland campus in 2017. So super excited to get started and get to chat with all of you today.
Sam, do you mind going next?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Sam Aguero. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of AdventHealth Deland, and I am so excited that you guys have joined us here today. A little bit about myself. I've been with the company for 13 years and with AdventHealth Deland specifically for almost 4 years now, and leading out different teams, and excited to have you here today. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Sam. We'll have Nicole introduce herself next.
Hello, everybody. I'm Nicole Rogers, and I work in the critical care unit here at AdventHealth Deland. I've been here for just about 3 years, and I'm very excited to be here, to meet everybody, and to really share my thoughts and feelings about working here at AdventHealth Deland.
Thank you. Angel?
Hi, my name is Angel Sanchez. I am one of the nursing supervisors here at Deland. I started my journey with Florida Hospital AdventHealth now in 2003 as a tech. It was a second career, and it was the best decision I ever made. I've been with Deland since 2015, one of the supervisors, sometimes as a nurse on the floor, and yet again, still the best decision I ever made.
Thank you, Angel. We'll go to Amber next.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. My name's Amber. I'm a nurse here in the PCU unit. I have been here straight out of nursing school in 2012. I've been here, it'll be 9 years in October, and it's just a wonderful place to work, and I can't wait to share and hopefully have you guys come on. It's going to be wonderful.
All right, Sean.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sean Neblett. I'm the HR Director for AdventHealth Deland. I've been here about 3 years now, and it's just the best decision I ever made in coming to AdventHealth Deland. You're going to find out a lot about who we are and why I said it was the best decision I ever made. So again, welcome and enjoy this Q&A session.
All right, thank you so much to each one of our panel members. And I want to thank each of you who are joining our live conversation right now. Thank you for taking the time to learn a little bit more about AdventHealth Deland. I want to really make sure that you take advantage of this opportunity to have this live conversation with members of our frontline team and leadership team and get to know who we are and what we represent here in serving our community. To that end, I would encourage you to utilize the chat feature. If you're in full screen mode, that chat feature will appear in your controls down at the bottom. You can click on that and bring it up to the side. And we would love for you to put in any questions or comments that you have throughout our presentation in the chat. In order to reduce background noise and make the experience the best it can be for everyone, we've muted the lines right now, but there will be an intentional time for Q&A at the end of our session here this afternoon. But go ahead and enter those questions or comments as you have them as we go through our discussion this afternoon. So I want to start off with our virtual discussion by asking what really sets AdventHealth Deland apart from other campuses?
I'll take that question, David. AdventHealth Deland, of course, patients expect and deserve zero harm from those that are caring for them. All hospitals focus on safety and service excellence, and we're not different in that aspect. Quality is of utmost importance to us here at Deland. As a matter of fact, you'll see that many of the goals throughout AdventHealth that CMS sets for us, which is the Centers for Medicaid and Medicare Services, that they set for all hospitals actually nationwide, we raise the bar and set those goals even higher. The idea is that anyone can be average, but we want to be excellent, right? So we want to provide that exceptional care that our community has come to expect from us. That being said, I think that what really sets us apart and makes AdventHealth special and unique is that we are a faith-based community hospital whose mission is to extend the healing ministry of Christ. This is not just a tagline here at Deland. It is a way of life. It's how we live our everyday. We provide patient-centered care that is safe, that's timely, that's efficient and effective. We pride ourselves on the fact that the same treatment that we provide to our patients and families, we also extend to our employees.
Thank you, Michelle. Now, for all of our participants that are on today, what areas are we hiring for in nursing right now?
So all areas are being looked at. The beauty of nursing is that there's so many options and areas of care that you can choose from. We're looking for nurses in our medical surgical units, in our progressive care units, in our intensive care units, the emergency department, the OR. There's also many other areas that aren't necessarily providing direct patient care, such as care management, education, and quality management. So there's no limit to what you can get in nursing.
Thank you, Michelle. For this next question, I'd like to ask Nicole, Amber, and Angel to share a little bit about what has made AdventHealth Deland an amazing place for you to work. Maybe how long you've been here and part of that journey, as well as what has really kept you here at AdventHealth Deland and makes you excited about coming to work every day.
I'll go ahead and start that one. Like I said, my name's Amber. I'm going on my 9th year of employment here at AdventHealth Deland. I started here right out of nursing school and I've been here ever since. I often get asked what has made me stay here for so long, and I always give them the exact same answer. It's because I'm a part of a family and a part of something that's bigger than myself. When I started here, I didn't know a single person. I was scared, timid. I had absolutely no nursing experience. I was intimidated, but my fellow nurses on my unit and throughout the hospital taught me the tips and tricks of the unit, and helped me to sharpen my skills. So now, almost 9 years later, I'm able to be the one that welcomes you and takes you in and helps you out when you come here and greets you. So just know that when you start, you might be a stranger, but you'll quickly become part of our family, and we'll help you with that. This campus is really small and it's really special to me. Once you work here, you become part of our family and we get to know you on a personal level. I can walk through the hallway and see Michelle or Sam or David or Angel or Nicole, and they ask me how my kids are. They really take an interest in you personally. So you're not just an employee, you really make a connection with people. And that reason right there has made me not even think of going somewhere else. So they're with me for the long haul.
If I may, I have to agree with Amber. This is an easy question because I have to say culture. Culture is one of, here in Deland, it's like nowhere else. I honestly believe that everybody cares. When, as Amber was saying, I'm walking around the units or I'm working on a unit or I'm in a outpatient area setting, even in the ED, everyone seems to care about everybody else. And I have worked at other hospitals, big and small, and you don't always feel that, you know? I'm about middle of the road in the, between the actual patients and the administration, but it doesn't matter which way I turn, everyone's the same. Everyone seems to care. There's also an accountability to a committed cause. So with everybody caring, everybody's committed to the same thing. You know, accountability can sometimes feel as if this is what I'm told what to do or what I must do. Here at Deland, it feels like it's what everybody's doing. So it's very simple for me to walk around wanting to do a great job and feeling like everybody's with me on this journey. And then once again, everybody's willing to help. I can turn to my CNO or my CEO, my CFO, or anyone, EVS, the maintenance staff, and they all want to help. There really is a sense of community and a sense of a culture that wants to stand together, that village type of culture. That's what I love about Deland.
I have been here for 3 years, but I did work at a different hospital line previous. But when I came to Deland, there was such a sense of teamwork and, as everybody else has mentioned, community that really is unique to Deland. I don't see myself leaving anytime soon. I love the unit that I work in. My manager is incredible, the people that I work with. And even though I primarily work in critical care, when I have worked in other units such as PCU or the ER, you still have that feeling of everyone is there to help you and we all work together. And that's something that I didn't see at previous places. And so it makes you feel wanted and a part of this amazing team. Everyone that we work with is so friendly. We all realize we have our role in the unit and we all help each other as much as possible. And that sense of teamwork and family is very strong. And it's something that makes you want to come to work and makes you want to be a part of this amazing team.
All right, thank you so much for those responses. For the panel, what are we looking for in ideal candidates? What are the attributes that you guys are looking for as we bring new team members into our organization here?
I can start with that one. We are looking for energetic, compassionate team players that provide patient and family-centered care. Transparency and good communicators who love a challenge and can critically think are always welcome to the team. Integrity, empathy, and inclusiveness are part of our values, and look for that in others too. That said, nursing is a team sport, so we also need to be collaborative, and most importantly, I think we need to be flexible. So nursing is a fluid situation always. So just being open to anything that comes your way is an important attribute that we also look for. Anyone else?
Anything else anyone wants to add to that?
I can add to that. As we talk about the teamwork is so important. So it's great to have people come into our team who wants to be a part of that team, to have good communication, to work well with others, and to be committed. We're committed to delivering good care to our patients. We're committed to each other and to the family as a whole. And so to have that is very important. Willingness to grow and to learn as a professional, as an individual, and really an internal drive to constantly want to improve, to help our team, to help our patients.
Perfect. Thank you. Angel, did you have something you wanted to add?
I think my answer to the question was simply going to be, by the time you get in front of us, I know that we have knowledge and we have skills, but personality as well. Like we have been saying, we have a certain culture here, and we want to bring to our patients a certain amount of personality that says to them, this is real. This is not forced. This is not, an act or being done for a paycheck. You can tell certain people in their personality how much they want to do and how much they're willing to give of themselves. This culture is quite different and quite dynamic, and we'd like to see that in a person when they first come here. That's it.
That's great. Thank you, guys. I'd like to pivot over to Sam. And Sam, I'd like you to share a little bit about the culture here at AdventHealth Deland and what makes it a unique and great place to be from a culture perspective.
Sure, thank you. This place is just amazing. You walk down the hallways and people are smiling at you. You know people care about you. This is not some huge hospital that you're not just another nurse or just another person walking down the hallway. Yeah, I see Angel down the hallway. Hey, Angel, how's it going? How are your kids? How's everything going? You have that family feel. We have to work hard. This is not, healthcare is difficult, right? You're gonna be working hard. 12-hour days is long days. But when you have people that have your back and that care about you, it makes it fun. I think that's one of the things that I've seen our teams make it fun to work here. Another thing with our culture is we are deeply rooted in our faith and in our mission. And Michelle touched on this a little bit, but it's not just something that we just say, extending the healing ministry of Christ, and we just say it or it's on the wall somewhere, but it's actually ingrained into what we do on a regular basis. It's not unusual for our nurses or even our EVS staff to pray with our patients. Our leaders would have devotions and prayer in the mornings before they start their day. And really, it doesn't matter what religion or what background you have, but that love and compassion that Christ gave to us, we really expect that from our team members to share not only with the patients, but with each other. And that makes this a really unique and wonderful place to work. The other thing is, through COVID, it's been rough. It's been rough. No, I don't know anywhere that can say, well, it was easy. But the teamwork that this hospital, it just came alive, and you saw it. I mean, we knew it, but when we're going through a crisis together, it was like nothing I've ever seen. People were laser focused on taking care of our patient and doing what's right for our patients, but also caring for each other. Mental health is a huge deal, not just outside of healthcare, but inside of healthcare. Our own workers, our own doctors, nurses, everybody is stressed out. But when you have the type of team that we have here, it just makes life so much better. Not only from an organizational standpoint that we provide resources and tools to be able to manage through really stressful times, but also the leaders and the team members care about each other and can help go through those tough times together. I really can't promise you that it's going to be super easy, but what I can promise is that you're going to have people that are going to have your back here at Deland.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. For some of the nursing team members that we have here on our panel, tell us a little bit about what a day in the life of a nurse on your respective unit looks like here at AdventHealth Deland.
So I work in PCU, and on our unit, our day typically begins with a morning huddle for the day and the night shift crew at 7 a.m. We also do it again at 7 p.m. We go over important unit updates, and then we identify critical drips, people that are on high flow oxygen, BiPAPs, high fall risks. Our manager always tells us to start out with 3 good things. We have to tell her 3 good things that are happening either in our life or on our unit. For the day before, we just have to start with 3 positive things that we're grateful and thankful for, which really sets the tone for the day for us. And then we always go into a devotion and prayer before we start our shift. We just bless, our patients, pray for them, pray for our staff coming on, and for the safety of our staff going home. Then we get report from our colleagues. We begin our day. We do bedside rounding now with our case managers, the primary nurse, the charge nurse, and the primary physician, which is really wonderful because it allows us as nurses to address any questions that the patient may have during the day. A lot of times they'll tell you, I was wondering about this or what's going on with this. So it's really nice because you can really get the whole care team right together, get your orders that you need, really develop the plan of care and involve the patient, which has really made a difference in our unit. We are really big about encouraging our patients. We get them up to the chair for meals. We ambulate them as much as possible, and do all those things just to prepare those for discharge, so they're in their best state of mind and best health when they leave. Our team is always helping one another, and when I float to other units, it's the same way. Everyone's just great teamwork, and it makes you feel more comfortable in your role, knowing that you have so much support to lean on. On our unit, we finish up our units in our days with something that we called golden hours. So we pair up with another nurse. We go check and turn our patients, make sure they're clean. We empty the linens, the trash, kind of just tidy up, and you have that one partner. That way you've got everything caught up and can get out on time, and the patients feel like they really just have a good end of the day, like for bedside report. And that way everything's ready for the oncoming shift. So a lot of, it's busy. There's a lot of transfers, but you always have help. You always have teamwork, and it always flows and goes really good. So it's always a good day at the end of the day.
Thank you, Amber. Angel or Nicole, anything else you'd like to add? Angel, you're on mute, my friend.
So sorry. I'd like to add that as a supervisor, I do get report. I get a good feel for what's happening throughout the entire house. And I also visit and do a lot of rounding with the different units and all. But I've been blessed at Deland and also had the opportunity to work as a bedside nurse when needed, as a tech when needed. And one of the things that I really like is what I call the meet and greet. This is where the 2 nurses, the ongoing and the outgoing nurse, go up to that patient and say, hey, I'm leaving, but so-and-so is coming on. And the nice thing about it is that you see a smile of confidence in that patient, knowing that if that nurse is saying, here you go, I'm leaving you with so-and-so, that they understand there's a level of trust and a level of caring that they know they're going to keep going. And to me, that's a great part of the day. We get our huddle done, we get all our information, and then we meet that patient and say, I'm ready to take over. That's the part I wanted to talk about.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that. As we think about 2020 being probably the hardest year in healthcare that any of us have ever experienced, what are some things that have been unique to your respective areas that have helped to maybe boost morale for your teams? And I'd like to maybe start with Nicole on this one, and then just have you guys share anything that really helped to boost the spirits of your respective teams.
My manager has been fantastic trying to boost everyone's morale through this difficult time. One thing that she did recently was we made a collage of all the pictures of us when we graduated from nursing school, or for some of the older RNs, a picture around the time that they graduated nursing school, and we have it posted in our unit. And I think what this has done for us is it's a good reminder for why we came into nursing, because, you know, we came in because we love people. We want to help people. We want to touch their lives in a small way to improve their quality of life and make them feel better, make them smile. And so remembering sometimes through this hard year and a half that we've had, having the pictures that remind us why we started and our enthusiasm and our love that brought us into nursing has been extremely helpful, because it's that good reminder for us. And to see our fellow nurses years ago when they graduated, and to see those old pictures is always fun too. But our manager, when we have our unit meeting, she likes to make a slideshow of pictures of us through the month or through the year, and kind of important momentous events that our unit has had, pictures of each other, and that just kind of brings a warm feeling to your heart, and it makes you feel so good. It helps with the morale of our unit.
Thank you. I love that. Anything else, Amber or Angel, you'd like to add to that specific question?
So this past year has been really rough with COVID, as everyone knows, but our management team and our administration team has done wonderful, just keeping our spirits up, whether it's just passing out a little treat every once in a while, just to show their face and let us know, hey, we have your back. It makes such a big difference. I will say that pre-COVID, our unit loves to celebrate. We celebrate every little thing we can. We have what we call Sunday dinners, to where whoever's working, we make a sign up sheet. Sometimes it's dip day, where everybody brings a different dip, or it could be pizza and wings. Pretty much any excuse just to eat, we do it, and we enjoy it. We really go out and decorate for the holidays, just put little stickers where we can and make things nice. We have a very competitive Christmas tree decorating competition. And it just boosts the morale of all of our employees, because every single person that I come in contact with are involved in all of it. And it gets so serious, but it makes it so fun, and it makes it really enjoyable. For our staff meetings, when we were meeting in person, our manager really went out of her way, and we would make like breakfast casseroles or cinnamon rolls, or we do like a coffee station with everybody would bring different creamers, just to kind of make it more personable, and really celebrate each other and the successes that we have and the teamwork that we have every single day. We also on our unit do an employee of the month. So our fellow nurses nominate, so say I have a rough day, and someone really went out of their way and helped me along my shift. I'll write a nice little note about it, nominate them, and then they get like a little gift card and their picture up. And it's a little sentiment, but it really goes a long way and makes you really feel appreciated and loved and show the work that we do. So we try to do a little sprinkle of fun days. We do Disney days pre-COVID. Sometimes we would go bowling, just to, get outside of work and really talk to each other and get to know each other. But it really makes a difference when you're at the bedside, because you really have that connection with your teammates, and it really shows to our patients. Our patients are always telling us that, you guys are like one big Italian family. Like, you guys are all in here. We come in, we're waving at you, we're, asking about it. So I'm just really appreciative of all of our management and our teammates for all they've done through COVID, because they really went above and beyond.
David, I have to give you a little slightly different perspective. I want to give you the effects of this of this morale boosting that we do. The other day, I'm working on PCU, which is Amber's unit, and I get a patient. I'm working as a nurse. I get a patient come in from the ED, I think it was. Well, the pit crew came in. That means 3 or 4 other nurses came in and did vitals, did a sugar, did this, did that, to where I stood there and went, wow. So I know people are trying to help me because I'm the supervisor trying to be a nurse, but I mean, this was real. This is something they do all the time. So the morale's already there, and I got to enjoy and see what they were doing. I've also experienced this in the ED, because a patient came in and it was an allergic reaction, which means immediate emergency, come and help. Well, this was the swarm the patient effect, where everybody came in, took care of what they had to do, make sure everyone was taken care of. And then I turned to a nurse, the last nurse leaving the room, and she goes, who's the nurse for this? Who's the nurse for this patient? Whose patient is this? And that nurse goes, I don't know. It didn't matter. What mattered was that the help was needed right there, right then. And they just did it. And then they went back to their respective areas. You know, you can't teach that or force that or hold people accountable to that. That's just the result of the way we are here at Deland.
So tell us a little bit about what work-life balance looks like for nurses here at AdventHealth, and maybe starting with you, Nicole, and any other of you on the panel would like to chime in on that.
So I think it helps our managers very understanding of important events that take place in our lives. A lot of us have kids, we have families, and things come up. So management is always very understanding of that. Overtime is not mandatory, it's offered, but it's not something that we are required to do. We are able to request off days in advance if it is an event that's coming up that we need time off. And if needed at the last minute, we can switch shifts with other team members as long as it's within the same week. And so that helps when something comes up last minute that it is an important event and you really want to be there with your family or with your friends, that's another opportunity for you to be able to have that day off, to not have to miss out. And all of these things really help with that work-life balance so that we have those opportunities to be there with our loved ones.
I was just going to add to that. We do, like Nicole said, we have the advantage of putting in our own schedule and self-scheduling. We do 6 weeks at a time, so it kind of gives you an idea. We just put in a schedule for April and May to plan ahead. Like she said, we're able to request off, and our managers are very flexible and try their best to make sure that we're there for all the big events, birthdays, celebrations, things that we need to be with our family for. Anytime you want to pick up an extra shift, there's always opportunities in your unit, or they'll make sure that you can find an opportunity on another unit. We're very flexible in that way. For holidays, we do a major and a minor. Our major holidays are Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And we're able to put a schedule up, and we just put what preference we would like, and then they balance it. But it's really nice because you're not going to be stuck working every Christmas, or you're not going to be miss every Thanksgiving. We do a rotating schedule, and it's very fair. But we're very flexible with self-scheduling, and we're able to be at our kids' soccer games or fishing tournaments on the weekends. So it's really nice because you feel like you're not missing out.
Okay, I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I love to work. I could work here 5-6 days a week. You can ask my bosses. But one of the most surprising things is that, like I said before, everybody around you cares. I had Sam, our CFO, come to me one day and said, so how's it going? And right away I started spurting out, oh, well, the ED's like this and the ICU's like that. And he goes, no. How are you doing? How's it going for you? And I had to stop for a second and go, oh, I'm okay. When are you taking a holiday or a day off? I said, well, I don't have anything scheduled. He goes, you really have to make the time to do that. And he was very, very sincere, very serious. And it got me to thinking, maybe he's right. So please know, just like everybody else was saying, we get our time off. We're not forced to do too much. Yes, this time of COVID and the nursing shortage as it is has taxed us. We've had to do a lot more, but I do it very willingly with a smile on my face every day. And it's great to know that my leaders are looking out for me as well.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Michelle, would you mind sharing a little bit about how we celebrate and recognize our nursing teams here at Deland?
Yes, I am proud to say that at Deland, we participate in the Daisy Award. The DAISY, as most of all of us know, recognizes a nurse quarterly based on submissions received from patients, their families, and even from their peers. We also, and we do a big, well, pre-COVID, we used to do a big to-do. We would do it in the hospital lobby. We'd invite everybody down for 15 minutes and announce the winner and all the nominees and have a big cake and green and yellow flowers and ribbons everywhere, and even invite what was the best, the most amazing thing was that the family, if it was a family member or a patient that actually nominated the nurse, we would invite them and they would be able to be part of the celebration as well. Right now, what we're doing is going to the units and of course giving out our famous Cinnabuns and daisies to the award winner. So we've had to kind of downplay the celebration, but only in the actual party version of it. We still celebrate our nurses and our teams as much as we can. National Nurses Week is always celebrated in May. It's a week-long celebration with food and prizes. Just like Amber said, give us any reason to enjoy and celebrate food, and there's a nurse. Also, many recognitions are unit specific, such as, again, as Amber mentioned, Employee of the Month, recognition of birthdays, recognition of work anniversaries, and even anniversaries of wedding anniversaries, depending on how close the unit is. In addition, we also have many campus-based awards, such as our Whole Heart Award, where an employee is nominated by a peer and recognized hospital-wide. They get a special parking space and they show up on our screensavers for the whole month until the next winner comes on in. So many ways to recognize our nurses, and I'm sure that each department also has their own little ways of celebrating their nurses as well.
Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. Tell us a little bit about what career path opportunities people have by choosing to come work for us here at AdventHealth.
There are so many career paths. You can choose to move from one unit to another within the facility. You can go from med-surg to PCU to ICU to ED to OR. You can become a care manager, a nurse educator. You can join informatics, become a certified nurse anesthetist. You can go into a leadership role, become an assistant nurse manager, a nurse manager, and even a chief nursing officer. So I love to tell my story because I started out as a PCU nurse in 2001 and transferred into the cardiovascular intensive care unit in 2002 at Orlando. After 12 years, I became an assistant nurse manager. 2 years later, a nurse manager for a 38-bed intermediate care unit that we cared for stable vents, and we did insulin drips also on that unit for stable hyperglycemic patients. Then I decided to go into, the director role and came here to Deland, and now I'm the chief nursing officer. So with lots of hard work and lots of perseverance, dreams really do come true. So I love that I work here for AdventHealth, and I hope to retire at AdventHealth.
Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. Sam, I'd like to ask you, what areas of healthcare is AdventHealth leading in here in our community that we serve?
So, for a hospital of our size, it's pretty amazing the things that we've been able to accomplish here with the teams. And there's not to say that we don't have opportunities, because we definitely do, and that's why we need more nurses to help us achieve there. But we've done some pretty amazing things. Right now we're Leapfrog Safety A organization. We provide excellent orthopedic care. We're a Joint Commission Center of Excellence for total shoulders, hip, and knee replacement surgery. So amazing physicians and surgeons that we have. Our ICU has been recognized AICU recognition. It's a national thing. It's named something else now. Michelle can tell me what it is. I forgot the name of it, but the
ICU cares, and it's
yes.
now known as high acuity.
Yes, high acuity. There you go. You know, we have some amazing team members that have been able to accomplish some amazing things. We're gold status for Get With the Guidelines with the American Heart Association. We have the Stroke Honor Roll Elite with the American Stroke Association. So that we have many different accolades and things that we've been able to achieve in this hospital. Those are some of the things that we've been able to do in Deland here, and we're continuing to strive for that excellent care. And we need nurses that are dedicated to that quality, because everyone here does care. And you know, if that's not what you're looking for, then you know, this may not be a good organization for you, because we are 100% committed to that. But we're also involved in our community in many different ways. It's not just about us and what we can accomplish, but this really it's about us serving our community. And we do a lot of different events and sponsor different events and things for our community. Things like backpack drive for kids that are an underserved community, and we want to provide the school supplies that they need for their school year. Things like, you know, focusing on a group of families that we can provide Christmas gifts for their family, their kids. Our teams partner with the community to serve food for the homeless or those in need. We partner with the Boys and Girls Club in Deland. We actually had a kickball tournament several months ago. It was Deland team members versus those kids, and let me tell you, they crushed us. Those kids are good at kickball. But we do a lot of things in the community, and it's important for us to not only be you know, caregivers here inside the four walls of our hospital, but actually go out into the community and make an impact in where we serve. Because you know, really, what are we here to do? We're here to serve the community, and that's just a few different ways that we involve our team members in the community.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. Sean, I'm going to pivot over to you and have you go ahead and go through the chat. I know there's been some dialogue back and forth throughout our time together, but maybe you could go ahead and start reading some of the questions that maybe needed to be expanded on a little bit more, and we'll have our panel address those.
Okay, thank you, David. We've had some good questions in the feed, and let me get to those that we have not addressed yet. Okay, so this one I'll pitch to Michelle. There's been a few questions about our mother and baby unit. So the first question is, do you have a residency program in the mother and baby unit?
So we do hire graduate nurses in the mother baby unit. Unfortunately, but fortunately for all of AdventHealth, our mother baby unit is moving out of AdventHealth Deland and moving to AdventHealth Fish Memorial come April. But we will be expanding on our care there. So yes, please apply, as they are still looking. And we do, like I said, we do accept graduate nurses in our mother baby unit. I saw that someone also asked about a NICU. We do not have a NICU here at Deland, but I know that I don't want to forget our other sister hospitals. I know that AdventHealth Daytona Beach actually has a NICU, and I'm sure they're hiring there. So please reach out, and we can also give you some contacts for our sister hospitals as well.
Thank you, Michelle. The next question I'll pitch to David. It says, thank you for this opportunity to meet you. 2020 has been a tough year for many healthcare facilities. I'd like to know what values that AdventHealth Hospitals espouses that you feel helped your staff get through this last year. And we know it was a tough year.
Yeah, it absolutely was. Probably the hardest year any of us have ever experienced in our lifetimes. You know, I think one of the things that I'm proudest of with our organization is through that very difficult time, our number one priority was making sure that we took care of our team and that we took the very best care that we possibly could of the communities that we're tasked to serve. And what that meant and what that looked like practically speaking is from March through the middle of June last year, we guaranteed the pay to all of our employees across AdventHealth. That, as far as I can tell from my conversations with friends and colleagues from across the country, was really an unprecedented move. When many other organizations were laying people off or furloughing employees, we guaranteed salaries to our team members because we value our people and we wanted to make sure that we could keep our team whole. And we felt that part of that promise was keeping our team safe during that very difficult and uncertain time. And knowing that coming out of that, we certainly needed our team to be fully staffed and able to appropriately care for our community. The other thing is we banded together across our company to provide really the best practice clinical care that we possibly could to our community, and saw really amazing results with the clinical algorithms and other things that we put in place to care for our patients that were going through COVID-19 during that year. So those are two really big highlights that I'd like to call out in relation to how we cared for our team and supported them during such a challenging time.
Thank you, David. This one's for Michelle. Are there any RN director positions available?
Currently, there are not at Deland. Where were you 6 months ago? We just hired in our last RN director role. But again, that's not to say that because it's not at AdventHealth Deland, it won't be at another AdventHealth facility. So go ahead and send your resume into our shared services team, and they will be able to direct you to the closest facility to you that has requisitions and positions available.
Another one for you, Michelle. What is the nurse to patient ratio on the units? And I answered that in a general sense that it depends on the unit and the level of care. So if you could expand on that a little bit.
Absolutely. So, and that is correct. It does depend on what unit you work on. We're kind of nationwide. Our averages are about the same as other facilities, just that we, that have our same departments and units. So our ICU care is 2-to-1, a 2-to-1 patient ratio. PCU is 4-to-1, and our med-surg is 6-to-1. Now, that's not to say that we don't staff with acuity in mind. And if we need to lessen the ratios, we will. And also if we need to stretch those ratios a little bit, we will. Sometimes we are waiting on downgrades from one unit that go to another unit. For example, in PCU that are waiting to go to our medical surgical floor. And we might put a 5-to-1 patient ratio on those patients versus keeping it at a 4-to-1 to ensure that our sickest patients are getting the care that they need. So, but it does depend on the unit that you work on. The ED, I do want to add the ED is also 3-to-1. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. There were a couple of questions around whether we hire RNs with 2-year degrees. Could you tell us about that?
Yes, we do. We absolutely hire ASNs in. I'm sure we still have many. Now, once you get here, I'm not going to lie, we will encourage you to go and get your BSN and your MSN. I mean, ask all of those on the panel that have been encouraged. And we even encourage for you to get certifications. Why not be the subject matter expert in your department? But absolutely, we will hire an ASN degree. I started out as an ASN myself, and have grown and gotten. I'm working on my 3rd master's, but so absolutely, ASNs are not excluded from our hiring.
And I also want to add that we offer tuition assistance for you to pursue your degrees with us.
Absolutely. So we encourage it and we help you at the same time.
Exactly. There was a question about, do we have an inpatient endoscopy unit?
I'm going to let Sam take that one.
Yes, that's an easy one. Yes, we do. We offer both inpatient and outpatient.
Another one for you, Sam, is how many OR suites do we have?
We have 6 OR suites in our facility.
Okay, great. Thank you. The next one, what level trauma distinction is the facility?
So we are not a trauma facility currently, and we're not looking to be certified as a trauma. So we will, if you do need to come to our facility, obviously we stabilize you and we will send you to one of our sister facilities, whether it could be AdventHealth Daytona Beach or AdventHealth Orlando.
Okay, there was a question about, are you offering bonuses to new nurses and how many weeks or months you give the new grad in order to get their license? So I did answer that we offer the bonuses, but could you follow up on the license question?
Yes. So we expect all nurses that come into our residency programs to have their licenses already. And then once they get here, weeks in training depends on where you train. So you will have 16 weeks in ICU, 12 weeks on PCU, and 10 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks on med surge. But you are, we will work with you to have your license prior to coming on board to AdventHealth.
Okay, another one is, this is a RN with a 2-year degree, but no recent experience and would love to get back to bedside. What would you advise her or him?
So we have the transition nurse program. So you are treated, so we recognize that you are a registered nurse and you do have a license, but you have not had any bedside experience. So we will put you into the transition nurse program, which is 6 to 8 weeks of training. And if you need more, we're not married to that number. If you need more than 6 to 8 weeks, we will give that to you. We want to give you the tools that you can be successful with. So we will work with you. So absolutely, that also is not a reason to not apply for one of our nursing positions.
Okay. There was a question about whether we are a magnet hospital at all. And David, would you like to take that question, or perhaps Sam?
Yeah, I can start. I think I made a couple comments in the chat around this. Right now, our focus is really around our Pathways to Excellence designation to elevate our nursing practice. I know this team is always committed to raising the bar of excellence to the work that we're doing. So we will elevate it from there, but our focus right now is doing a great job as we work through that journey. I'm very excited about that journey that we have ahead, and that will be our primary focus over the next 1.5 years or so. So Michelle or Sam, anything you'd like to add to our journey in that area?
Nope, you said it, David. We are on our Pathways to Excellence journey. Very excited about that. Our nurses are, and I think every single one on this panel is actually writing and helping to get us right on that path.
Excellent. There was a question about, I have over 15 years of healthcare management experience with a master's in healthcare administration. They were interested in positions in quality improvement, care management, or any type of leadership position. What would you advise them? They really love the AdventHealth culture and would like to know if we have any types of positions like that.
So Shayma, I'll go ahead and take that real quick. Thank you for your interest in joining us here this afternoon. There are those roles available within our company. And what we can do is make sure we can get your contact information and connect you with some of our recruiters. There certainly are quality improvement teams across our organization. There are teams that we're looking for with that lean experience. And so there's definitely roles and opportunities to be part of AdventHealth with that. So we'll make sure we get a follow-up to you on that.
If I may add to that a little bit, there's many different paths to leadership and many different opportunities with an organization of our size. And we've had some amazing individuals come and start here in DeLand and grow to leadership positions in our regional, divisional roles that have just done an amazing job. I think actually DeLand is a perfect place to grow and fine tune those skills and leadership and really striving for that quality that can get you to the next level. So there's so many opportunities in Florida and even outside of Florida that you can choose from. I think we have now 51 hospitals now, if I'm not mistaken. We keep on adding, which is a really great thing, especially the strength and size of our organization. We're more than 80,000 employees strong at AdventHealth. And AdventHealth Deland is just one avenue to get you connected to this amazing organization. So thank you.
Thank you, Sam. We have a few more questions as we bring this to a close. Are we hiring international nurses, and do we take care of all the fees? Michelle, would you like to answer that one?
So that was a good question. And yes, we do hire international nurses. Unfortunately, I am not the best person to answer about the fees and all that, but I do believe that we actually do. But we can actually send us your contact information and we will get your name to the right person that it belongs to, because we have a whole department that just takes care of our international nurses. And you go through a whole orientation process outside of way before you even come into the hospital that you have elected to work at. So they work with you personally, and then you come into the hospital that you choose to work at, and you get a whole new orientation as well. But unfortunately, I do not have that information handy, but I'm sure someone in HR will provide you that link, or if you send us your information, we can absolutely get you in touch with them.
Thank you, Michelle. We will follow up with this person. A couple more questions. We talked about the BSN, MSN. There's a question, do we support a DNP in our training programs?
If you're in nursing, absolutely.
Yeah.
We have 1, 2, 3 of our directors that are actually going for their DNPs right now. And throughout the whole region, we have DNP nurses. We are very much into research and quality, and we would love to have your expertise on board. And yes, we do offer also tuition reimbursement for DNP.
Okay. Do you pay a differential for having a certification or BSN or MSN? Basically, is there additional pay for the levels that you have?
Yes, for all of the above.
Okay.
For your certification and added degrees, yes. All
right, let's see. We just have 1 minute, so we can continue to
Can I also add, I'm sorry, Sean, sorry to
interrupt. Go ahead.
I also want to add, I think this is a good time to also talk about our clinical ladder program, which is our clinical nurse excellence program that also, according to your certification and your degree, you fall on either clinical ladder 1, 2, or 3, and you get an additional stipend for every level that you go up on the ladder. So that's in addition to all the other things that we spoke about.
Good point, good point. We are out of time, but we can continue to answer some of these questions in the chat. There's a lot of thank yous, as you can see, and we thank you for joining us. David, You want to close us out?
Yeah, thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. For those of you who'd like to get your questions answered, please put it in the chat. We'll keep some folks on to make sure we can respond to that even after we close out. I want to thank you for your time and joining us today. We would also like to extend an invitation to you for any of you who would like to join our team. We are going to have a virtual hiring event on April 14. We actually have a link that's going to be embedded here in the chat related to that. And all of you who signed up for the program today will also be invited to that event. Thank you so much for taking the time to look at AdventHealth Deland and the opportunities you could have here. And I hope that you have a blessed, fantastic rest of your day. Take care.